I have here two pieces of wood. They are, of course, similar in many ways. I mean, they're both sticks, but with one major difference. From this piece of wood can come beautiful music. Now this second piece of wood, it could be used for percussion, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is my natural musical gift. But it's not capable of playing a lovely or lilting melody or harmony. And what's the difference between these two? What allows this piece of wood to be capable of such beautiful music? The difference is that this one has been hollowed out, emptied inside. It has enough emptiness that breath can flow through it. Now, as you and I make our way through our lives, we can at times or even always be a bit more like this or a bit more like this. You know, sometimes we can be so like this, right, that there's not enough space for something truly beautiful to flow through our lives as is needed, right? You know, what matters is what I want, or how I've been offended, or who does and doesn't appreciate me, or whatever. Now, hopefully you and I are aware enough to know and notice what it feels like to be too full of ourselves, you know, like crabby all the time, or becoming greedy or selfish or judgmental or angry or whatever. Now, there are those other times, God willing, where we have enough emptiness in our hearts, in here, that the melody of our lives joins with the song God put at the heart of the universe. Mary, whose feast day we celebrate today, was someone who knew her life was not all about her. She was not so full of herself that she couldn't respond to the call of God. Now, her life had been moving in this one trajectory when suddenly God invites her to a whole different path. Stunningly, she says this frightened, humble, trusting yes. Now, I do not think she could have possibly done so had she not practiced letting go, of being emptied of her own ego, enough so that she could respond. And wow, did God use Mary's openness to bring beautiful music to this world. It was through her openness that she birthed Jesus into this world. In today's gospel, we hear a bit of Mary's great song of thanksgiving and trust of the wonders of God. A song that God would sing through her life because she was humble enough to allow it to happen. You see, God always honors our willingness to be emptied by making something beautiful from the letting goes for love. We don't always hear that at first, ourselves perhaps, but eventually we will. And just as I think it's important that we're aware when we're a bit too full of ourselves, hopefully we also know what it feels like to be emptied enough that something beautiful could be played through us in any given moment, right? You know, when you're kind to that other person at school or work or home, instead of being all crabby or self-absorbed. When you let your sibling have that bigger piece of dessert, or that time, you let someone else get the honor that you probably deserved, but instead you smiled and wished them well on the inside anyway. Now, what is it that empties us? It's the work of spirituality, really. And whenever we make room for another, whenever we love, we will be emptied. And if you've ever loved, you've known that beauty and that pain. And sometimes life just empties us. The pain of every goodbye leaves an empty place in our hearts which God can use as well. Now, being emptied is not easy, because really, on a less developed level, we rather like being filled with ourselves, right? Commercial upon commercial will tell us that it's all about us and what we want. Again, it's the difference between these two pieces of wood. This one, unlike this one, is not full of itself, but has been emptied, hollowed out in the middle, which allows the possibility that something new and beautiful might be played through it, like Mary did. May we allow ourselves to be emptied by love, that the beauty of God might sing through us as well.